I'm originally from West Texas, about an hour north of Midland, Odessa area, in a small town named Seminole, Texas. Small town farming community, about 6,000 when I was there. I grew up in a Hispanic family. My parents, two sisters, I'm the middle child. And growing up out there was sort of a sense of, there is there's a small world and there's a larger world, and so the small world was just there in that small town. One Catholic parish. It was an integrated parish where we had the Anglo community and we had the Hispanic community. So everybody, I went to the Spanish Mass. I grew up with Spanish Mass, and so for me, praying and liturgy is done in Spanish. And when I go to a Spanish Mass, it's very dear to my heart. And then later on, going off to high school at St. Anthony's Catholic High School, at that time St. Anthony's High School Seminary with the Oblates. It was a new adventure for me, and more than anything, it was to learn more of the Oblate spirit, the Oblate mission, their sense of mission in Texas, and so I did that through my high school years. Graduated after that, and then went on to the college level formation with the Oblates in Austin at St. Edward's University. I did that for 2 years and really felt that I was being called, but at not that particular point in my life. And so I removed myself from formation after 2 years of the college level and remained in Austin, where I completed my undergraduate and then continued to live there professionally. Worked at the university and did lots of different things, but ended up in doing career counseling and coordination of internship programs. So it was about 2004 where I felt that I had succeeded. I had done the things that I really needed to do in my life. All the questions that I had when I left formation sort of just said, let me go see, let me go try this out. So, but in 2004, those questions didn't apply anymore. And I had pretty much answered all of them and still found some sense that I was yearning for something. And what I realized was that after being very successful and accomplishing many, many things, both personally and professionally, I decided that, okay, there's something missing in my life. What wasn't? And it wasn't until I went back to Mass. There were a number of years where I didn't go to Mass and I didn't really have God active in my life. And when I walked into a particular parish, as soon as I walked through the door, I realized that God was missing in my life, and it was an Oblate parish. And that Mass was sort of a Mass of coming back and having God enter my life. And it was a very emotional Mass for me. The gospel for that particular day, out of all the Sundays that I've chosen to return to Mass, it was the gospel of the prodigal son. And it was just very proud. It was profound for me. It was very emotional. My sister was next to me. She was like, "What's going on? What's wrong with you?" And I just kept telling her to be quiet. And it was at that moment where I allowed God to come back into my life and slowly integrated back into the parish there, and then eventually found that I was being called back into religious life. And so I took my time in discerning, worked with an Oblate priest for several months, and then realized that maybe I am being called back into religious life, and let me discern that some more. After a few months, or probably about 6-8 months of working with him, then we called the vocation director, and Father Charlie Banks was certainly instrumental in answering the questions that I had at the time, where I was professionally, and then the application process started to rejoin the Oblates in formation. And so in 2007, I left my life behind, the life that I had built up for myself and thought that it would be the rest of my life in Austin with my friends, circle of friends, with my family there, with all the professional contacts that I had. I left all that behind to join the pre-novitiate community in Buffalo. And it's been a lesson for me, because I thought I was giving up a lot of different things. I was giving up my life, but in actuality, that was the easy part. The things, the gifts that I received in return were just powerful. I keep benefiting from the decision of saying yes to God's invitation to this life, the invitation through the Oblates, and the Oblates have been very, very supportive, and it's been one big blessing from then on.